If your gutters are clogged, dented, or they're just not, draining water properly, that's going to go right down inside your foundation. That could cause major issues. We've seen it all the time where water is, spilling over top of the gutters, and of course, it's going to go right up against the house, and it could flood out your basement, which is extremely detrimental, especially if you have a finished basement with, whether it's carpet and furniture or whatever else down there. Yes, that could be a really big issue. Some of the common signs of gutter damage would also be having, dings and dents in there from hail. We've even seen, gutter hangers blow off, the downspouts completely removed just for wind damage. So those are of course going to be obvious signs, but some of the, not as obvious signs would just be having them completely clogged full of granules and water overspilling. I mean, those are going to be the really severe ones. So it's not going to really affect the roof's lifespan. However, it can be very detrimental to the actual house structure itself. Not only just the foundation, water, seeping into the foundation and eroding all that, but it's also if you have a brick exterior, you're going to have water running down the brick, you're going to have rust rains, you're going to have more maintenance issues. If it's siding, you're going to have dirt streaks and everything coming down the siding. So it's definitely going to show if your gutters aren't cleaned properly, installed properly with the correct, flow of water, and everything's not opened, as it should be. As far as it hurting the actual roof itself, that really shouldn't be any type of issue, but it's not going to be good for the house itself. That's really going to come down to more of an aesthetics point of view. As far as your gutters, they can withstand a lot of, high winds, hail from all different sizes. For them to actually become dislodged or collapsed, that would take an extremely large, hailstorm to really mess them up that bad. However, with a large hailstorm, they're going to be dented up and they're not going to be aesthetically pleasing any longer. They will still function properly. They're still going to drain water how they should. So I would say, for hail purposes, that's going to be a case-by-case scenario, depending on, the wind and the hail, or depending on what type of storm it is. Any gutter system, they're all seamless gutters that we put on. They're pretty sturdy. They can withstand a lot of wind and hail damage. It's going to be a case-by-case scenario on, of course, depending on how large that hail is. That's going to be more depending on aesthetics. It's not going to really affect the gutters as far as the quality and their purpose for draining water. It's just going to be more aesthetics. If they're going to be damaged, they're going to have dings and dents in them. As far as them blowing off, that would take some significant, straight mile-an-hour winds for them to really blow off or have any type of issues like that.